The world has changed a lot since the days of the one-room schoolhouse. Single mothers are no longer shamed for raising a child alone or out of wedlock like they once were. And it is perfectly fine for same-sex couples and grandparents to raise children. While it is wonderful that the world has evolved and changed, the majority of students are still raised in a traditional styled family environment, meaning by a man and a woman. As educators, it is our job to create an environment within our classroom that includes all students, specifically when it comes to how or who is raising them. One way to do this is by creating an inclusive classroom. You can do this through setting ground rules for your students. It is important to clearly define how you as the teacher expect your students to treat each other. If it is clearly defined that you are not to judge a person by how they look or who they are raised by, you can decrease the negative behavior in the future. It is also important to create activities to do in class. If you create a game that also has a purpose, students are going to be more likely to remember what they have learned or are being taught. Another way to create an inclusive environment is by having teachers be aware. It is important for teachers to be aware of what is going on in their students' lives. This makes it easier to connect with students, but it also gives you the ability to know how to word things or know why the child is a little more sensitive to certain subjects. An example of this would be knowing that one child does not have a dad and may feel left out at a school event like Donuts with Dad. Teachers can include lessons on family types so that students are aware that just because another friend might not have both parents, that does not mean that they are less than anyone else. Teachers also need to be aware of parent preference. Based on the school and the parent preferences, specific topics may be off limits. While this may hinder your lessons on diversity and equality, there are still many other lessons that can be created around simpler concepts, such as kindness and being considerate of others' feelings. Taking the other two into consideration, it is very important for teachers to think before they speak. Don't give assignments that center around showing a specific parent student work outside of the classroom. Remember, the true point you are trying to give with the assigned task is that you want an adult or guardian associated with the child to participate in the child's academic career. So using terms like show this page to an adult at home would be a great way to make sure the students know what to do. The third way to create an inclusive environment is by getting your parents involved. If you are able to have diversity days at your school, get your parents involved. Invite them to come in and talk to the class about themselves. This not only gets parents involved in their child's academic life, but it also allows them to meet other parents. If the other adults feel comfortable, the more likely they are to offer help and support for the teachers. Parents will enjoy helping with classroom activities more as well as field trips if they don't feel isolated. The world will continue to change. As educators, it is our jobs to help our students and parents change with it. By creating a more inclusive classroom, you are doing just that and laying the groundwork for the next generation of open-minded individuals.